in the chat,
I know that guy.
our Skype guest today is well, actually, you know what? Tell you what, we'll go live. We'll go live so that the video's up and everybody can see and everything. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the 244th Angry Cuddles podcast. That's right, 244 of these motherfuckers. My name is Steven. Joining me today is DJ Pikachu, Sir Will Roth over there in the Beats by Dre.
I had some garlicky pizza earlier, so I'm sorry if I burp.
No, that's okay.
You'll be okay.
No, if like the
burp straight into the mic.
Garlic burps are fantastic. Like I love them. I love having them.
Oh, you love having them?
Oh yeah. It's like garlic.
No,
fantastic.
it's true. Yeah, it's
garlic's
delicious.
fantastic in any form.
All right, Caldane.
no, it's true.
In literally any
The
form.
afterbirth of garlic.
Garlic bread is so good, you always want to taste it twice.
Oh.
The game guy shows up.
Over at the end of the couch, we have our friend. It's our feed. Our output is a little wonky. Over at the end of the couch, in the NVIDIA hat, is Corporate Cal.
It's me.
I've got an extremely short wire for my headset.
That's what it is.
You gotta lean forward.
I gotta lean forward.
Fucking everyone.
You
gotta get it together, Chuck.
It's like in the
See,
past
I don't
podcast.
need headsets.
Like in past podcasts, Cal's like, we're all sitting forward, like engaging, and Calvin's like sprawled out, like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Literally like that, with his
Now-
belly showing.
Yeah, now sprawled out like I don't give a shit is kind of par for the course.
And joining us via Skype is streamer Slanverse, who just said hello a minute ago in the chat.
Hello.
Our friend Eric Detweiler. How's it going, Eric?
Going good, sir.
We would have him on video, but I didn't do my proper research about how to split webcam between things. Don't worry about
And
it.
I could have brought mine if you had told me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Keldan, did
no
you mean
big
to
deal.
spell great wrong?
Yeah.
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 That's my thing.
Oh,
Remember?
I love it.
Yeah.
Making
Hashtag Make America Great again.
Can we
like
get a hat
grading.
and like it's an actual grater on the hat? You know, with American flag.
Great.
Grading the American flag.
Oh my
Bundling of
gosh, I
garlic
wish I could show
afterbirth.
you guys my America hat that I got at a real estate recruiting event. It's
Oh, I thought you were gonna
glorious.
say the Trump rally.
that I got at a Trump rally. Can we have an all-American episode where we all have to wear
Yes.
American?
America bullshit.
I'm just going with my Speedo.
Oh, God.
Oh, no,
Now
there's
you're
tons
not-
of
Calvin,
you're not
no.
sitting on this couch in a Speedo.
No one needs that.
You'll leave an afterbirth.
Oh.
Hey, game guy, Caldane, Sky, and Cairo. Welcome.
Our usual suspects are already
Our
littering the
usual
chat
kids.
rooms.
So, Eric, how's Philly? You a Birds fan? You an Eagles fan now?
He's a flying
I don't know what either of those words mean, so I'm going to say no.
That's a good response.
You don't watch.
76ers.
You don't watch the NFL.
He watches
You don't
no
like
sports.
foosball?
Nothing
No
at
sports.
all, man. I've had so little free time. Unfortunately, I can't watch anything.
He's a busy dude.
What have you been playing lately? I know you just finished Undertale, right?
Yeah, I've basically been playing anything that I can play in short bursts of like 20 to 30 minutes. So Undertale.
Oh, so you have to do it in short bursts.
Yeah. So Hearthstone is my current like recurring
Addiction?
gaming obsession. Yeah, because I can play like one game and then stop, you know.
Right.
But I have a couple of RPGs that are in the works. So Divinity: Original Sin, I have a save file on there.
I've heard Divinity's really good.
God, it's fucking hard. I'm stuck at this boss, and I can't beat him for the life of me. So I need to actually like take time and seriously rethink my strategy. Yeah,
It's turn-based, right? The Divinity.
it's turn-based. Yeah, it's good. The combat system is very robust. The story is pretty weak, but man, what you gonna do?
Is
hard
there
to make a Dragon Age.
good customer? Holy shit!
Customer.
I meant character customization. In
I mean,
Divinity.
it's
Boom.
pretty
2 words.
pathetic. I mean, you can choose between like stock face 1, stock face 2, you know,
Boo.
stock hairstyle 1, stock hairstyle 2, is that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's a total boo.
Digital
Is
Vault.
it multiplayer? Digital Galt says it's amazing as a duo team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically, if you're playing the game by yourself, you control 2 main characters, and you can split control those 2 main characters between two players. I have not actually done that, but I bet it would be awesome.
Okay. Sky and Kyra, we were addressing that question. Asked what everybody been playing recently, and I just finished Just Cause 3, and it was mostly bleh.
Yeah.
Except I got like 90. Actually finished the game, and I was going back and like liberating all the provinces and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like 95% of the way through the game when I stopped. And there's this minister, this propaganda minister, that whenever something is destroyed, he comes on the radio and he's like, "Oh, the that old gas plant was such an eyesore, right? Well, we destroyed it ourselves," just to get to sort of spinning it. And it didn't hit me until I was almost ready to ship the game back that was fucking David Tennant.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
That's pretty rad.
And
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it finally dawned on me that I recognized the voice. So
that's awesome. That's always a little nugget of joy.
What have you been playing, Chuck?
I actually just finished playing Sunset Overdrive for my stream tonight.
You finished beginning Sunset Overdrive. You didn't finish the game.
No.
Okay.
God, no.
So it's not multiplayer?
I think it has a multiplayer component to it, but it's primarily a single player.
I think you guys are lying to me.
Open. you will not accept that.
I
This is
won't
a
accept
single-player
it.
game.
I swear to Christ, it is not single player. You
Will's
guys
like,
just
"No,
don't want
you're
to play with
wrong."
me. That's
You
the
are
thing.
wrong.
I have not been playing anything this weekend.
What a piece of shit.
I've been in a drunken rage.
Yeah, Calvin's been
I
drunken
don't
rage.
know.
So a
Went a
typical
whole
Sunday for
weekend.
you then.
Yeah, Eric. Since you left, not much has changed in some corners. Of
I
this
was
world.
actually-
Yeah, I see that.
filming things too. There's lots of
Eric, did you ever play LOL with Corporate Cal here?
Oh my God, did I play LOL with Corporate Cow?
Oh,
I tell
shit!
You, it was not
Oh,
LOL.
I gotta hear this.
It was
That's
not
when
LOL.
Eric-
So let me tell you.
Tell me about what it was like playing LOL with Cal.
I mean, you see, Calvin.
Here,
How do I explain this?
This is
So
so good.
Einstein, he defined the term insanity by someone who continues to do the same thing over and over again with the exact same result and refuses to change their behavior. That's kind of like Calvin, how he would blindly charge to the enemy, get himself killed over and over again with no assistance anywhere in sight.
That was in the beginning.
God, Calvin. The spacing, dude.
I'm gonna. Can I get a cut of that section right there? And then the next time Calvin decides to start spitting mad game,
I wanna get-
about his
First off,
rolling
I am
skills,
better than Eric at League now, so he can shut his horn.
I want to get a little I want to get a
Eric?
little trophy like in the shape of a recycling bin.
Yeah.
So I can here's your garbage trophy.
Well, to be fair, I have not played League in over a year now, so his statement is probably accurate. However, I have no doubt in my mind that retarded, team charging continues.
So Sky and Kyra, Sunset Overdrive seems like an Infamous knockoff. Sky and Kyra, Sunset Overdrive is like Infamous if Infamous sort of
acid.
ditched.
had fun.
Yeah, had fun. Now I like Infamous, but Sunset Overdrive, and especially you chose male character, the female character, her voice actor, her timing is so good. It is spot on. So it's fucking hilarious.
The male voice character,
Yeah.
is Troy Baker.
Yeah, but
So-
Troy Baker's allowed to have bad performances. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm actually
Wow.
not saying it's bad because I listened to the male character a little bit, but it just didn't have the same.
Chuck's
it's just
wearing
timing was
a
different.
Troy Baker butt plug right now.
Game Guy says, "Welcome back to part 3 of the FU Calvin podcast."
Yeah, it happens more than once.
Isn't this part 244 of the FU Calvin
It
podcast?
really is. Yeah.
Digital talks about Subnautica. I actually watched him play that today.
Did you really?
Yeah. And it's a fucking cool and original game.
Yes, it is. I've been watching.
Subnautica?
Yeah.
I've been watching Markiplier's playthrough of that, and he just has a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Every episode.
you create
That's
this
always
like
important.
Game.
bottom of the ocean like lab and
Yeah.
like home basically. And then you can get in your sub and like explore the ocean deep. I mean, and it's freaky looking because it's all dark, blocked out except for your light, and you're coming across like giant sea creatures under there. I mean, it's
Is it just
crazy.
about exploring?
Is there a
From what
point?
I saw,
And
there's a lot of exploration.
There's
and
a spacecraft, and it has
Yeah.
crashed into the ocean, and
A little closer, Chuck.
you can go into the spaceship at some point. Like, you have to be prepped for it because the fuckers got more rads than Fallout 4 altogether.
Okay.
So, you got to have all your different equipment, and then you got to find the way in, and then you can explore into the ship, and then you can kind of figure out what happened. And what Markiplier has seen so far, he believes that there was sabotage. So there may have been something going on. But for the most part, it is survival and exploration because, you have to worry about food, you have to worry about water, you have to worry about air.
Aren't you in the water?
Yes, you're
Don't
in
you know
water,
the
but you're
poem?
also on...
Water everywhere, so let's all have a drink.
God damn it.
one time
Yeah.
I took a bunch of mushrooms,
Yeah.
ate a bunch of mushrooms, and I was tripping and I was drinking water and I go, man, water is amazing. And then my buddy goes, but too much water will kill us. And I was like, oh, and it just shocked my life. And I threw my water bottle. I was so upset. I was tripping really hard at the time.
Oh, that's
That's
fantastic.
That's pretty
That's
outrageous.
fantastic. Okay, so let me ask you guys this: who here has built a PC of any kind?
I have
Here.
And Eric
with
Slanverse
Eric
has.
actually.
You guys,
I'm
you
one of
guys
them.
tag team something.
The Candolph the Great.
When have they not tagged team?
Candolph the Great.
Yes, my first PC that we built in 2005.
Wait, you and Eric built one?
Yeah, me and Eric built
Yeah,
my
we built
first
one
gaming
together.
PC
Oh.
with the 30-pound case that was made for giants.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
with
was,
my
it
tax
was an
return.
epically huge case. It was awesome.
You can help me build a PC.
Yeah, we can do that.
So what? Okay, so let's start with PC building for gaming.
Sure.
What do you start with, Eric? You tell me what do you start with? Do you start with the graphics card and build to accommodate that, or what do you do? You're building a new gaming PC. What's your first step?
Well, I guess I'll just use my current PC as an anecdote because I built it fairly recently in 2014. So the first thing I did was I looked at the parts in my old computer to see if there was anything I could salvage. And actually, in this case, I chose to salvage my graphics card, which was a NVIDIA GTX 570. Getting
Okay.
pretty old and behind the times right now.
Is that what you're running right now?
That's what I'm running right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
17.
The chat's talking about how they've built like 7 or 8 computers. I've also built around like 6 or 7 in total, so it's kind of like a comparable experience. But anyway, I think the first thing you start with is budget, right? Like how much money?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with
step
Eric
one is
there.
figuring out how much you want to spend on the fucker.
and then what
Yeah,
you
I
want to
think
do
so.
with it.
Okay.
Right.
So, anybody know how much the standard, like, let's go to Best Buy and get a tower? How much would that tower run?
You're gonna go to Best Buy and buy a pre-built gaming PC.
That's
No.
a waste of money.
Was it?
Well, give me
Yes.
a base right there, because what I'm
Yeah.
trying to go for is
Well,
let's see what we
all right,
can
Chuck,
build for
Chuck.
however much it would cost to get just
Okay.
Here's
a computer from Best Buy.
You need
Right.
to focus on the little things first. First off,
That's what I'm trying to.
That
talk
is the little thing.
Yeah.
How much
How
would
much
a
do you-
tower from Best Buy be?
what type of tower?
A,
Well,
a
it's-
gaming
it's-
rig or a do everything rig.
Here's the
a
idea
do
I'm
everything.
going for.
Yeah.
The number of dollars that it costs
A little
to
closer.
buy that tower for Best Buy,
Yeah.
that is the budget that you have to build your computer with.
300 to 600
Yes,
no monitor.
Thank you.
3 to 6, but
3 to 6 no monitor.
Also, Best
Yes.
Buy will fuck your ass for free.
Right.
I know Best
For
Buy will
free.
fuck your ass for free.
But also
I mean,
that
I'm looking on their website right now, and the gaming PC section like starts at $550 and goes all the way up to like $1,300.
that sounds a little closer to what I was thinking.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like
Well,
if you're just getting a
yeah.
productivity PC, like
No.
300. But if you're
300.
gonna want any
Yeah.
sort of gaming card or
you want to
dedicated
spend at
a
least
gaming
a
tower,
grand.
pre-built, it's probably gonna be closer to 7 or 8. I'm guessing at the minimum.
minimum.
Because here's the thing. I used to play games. I used to play PC games.
Yeah.
On a just run-of-the-mill shitty ass.
Just whatever computer you had
whatever
underneath the
computer
stairway.
I had. Yeah.
Like Eric's
And
janky
you know
laptop.
what? It worked.
It did work.
I'm one of those gamers and PC gamers, if you will, that doesn't give a shit about having graphics so good that my eyeballs just open up and then start shitting themselves. I don't care. I really don't.
I don't need my face to
So-
look like 2001: A
Yeah.
Space Odyssey the whole time.
So if I'm in the market for that, something that just works.
That just works. That will
But-
play The Witcher 3.
That will play-
but you don't have to have it on Ultra.
right.
Well,
Not even
That's-
that.
see,
It-
that's-
it
that's
doesn't even
the
have to play
tricky
The
part.
Witcher 3. If it can play just something
I mean,
that's
that's
not
easy. It's fairly easy to get. I mean, you're spending about 1,000.
No, you don't have to spend $1,000.
that's why I asked about the budget for Best Buy.
I
is
disagree.
Now,
Yeah.
we
Now we
have
have
a
a
number,
comparing-
$600. What can
Yeah.
we buy? What can we
What-
build?
what would that
What can
run?
we build for $600?
Okay.
How well?
So now we've started with the budget.
Right.
So let's say Eric, you
Sure.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. You've got
Okay.
you're gonna spend $800.
Okay.
So, but ultimately, we don't have to build a specific PC today. We're
Okay.
just going to, go through the steps of what you do and how to do it. So you've decided on a budget. Just
Okay.
throwing out there 800, whatever.
Sure.
Now what do? Do you go motherboard first? Do you go graphics card first, CPU first? What are we doing here? Or because everything's going to depend on each other, right? But you got to
Right.
start somewhere.
Well,
They're all
actually,
kinda interlaced.
so Will and Chuck have brought up some interesting points where you got to think about. So the most expensive part of the computer is going to be your graphics card or your processor and your motherboard.
Hands down.
And so it depends on what kind of games you want to play. So if your goal is to play Fallout 4, which has an insanely high minimum graphics card requirement, even if you're running it on low settings, which I am, by the way, then you have to be willing to spend the money on the card to get that. But if all you're playing is like League of Legends and StarCraft 2 on minimum settings, and then things like Undertale and Bastion
If you're
and
Calvin.
Walking Dead or
Can
whatever,
play other games.
then
Choose not to.
then your
Calvin has a
graphics card
$1,000
needs to go down.
roll machine.
Yeah. How much of a drain on resources is Undertale?
Oh, like
Undertale's
nothing. It's
It's
like
like,
Yeah.
it's like an 8-bit or 16-bit game. Or like
Yeah.
it's an
It's like
old
Final Fantasy
Super
VI.
style game.
It looks like an 8-bitter.
yeah. So it depends on what kind of games you want to play first, and you have to think about that. So if you're going to play Fallout 4, then $800 is going to be stretching it pretty
It's gonna
thin.
be
It's
cutting it
doable, I
close.
think, but it's tough.
Okay.
I don't
Right.
want to play Fallout
Right.
because Fallout fucking sucks.
Yeah, we've determined that we do not like Fallout 4 as much as we thought we did.
You see,
Yeah,
I used to
I
run.
agree.
I'm
you.
still okay with it.
I used to run Final Fantasy Online, which is obviously not crazy insane graphics, but had some pretty good graphics.
Well,
Back in the day.
at the time it was really pretty.
Yeah. At the time, it was really pretty. I ran it on a goddamn e-machine,
Yeah.
and I ran it well.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I feel like if you do invest that little bit more money, you're gonna feel a lot better with your PC. Like you get what you're paying for.
Okay, so you're going to pick out a CPU, a graphics card, and a motherboard roughly about the same time. Am I right there? Because you need things to
Yeah.
sort of
Caldane, you just hit my nail straight on the head, dude.
buys $3,000 machine, plays NES emulators.
Yup. That's me.
Okay, so you've gotten those three things, and you need those three things to be compatible, right?
Right, exactly. And that's kind of like the starting point for everything. Everything else is just peripherals essentially. It's like, okay, how much space do I want? Well, I don't need a 2 terabyte, hard drive. I'll get like
I think I have a 3 terabyte external, so hey,
there you go.
That's unnecessary. What?
good for me.
No, I have just hooked up to my Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 4 terabyte hard drive, an external hard drive, just connected to my Xbox One to be able to put those. Well, because
He's a digital guy.
Well, even without the digital, though, you have to install. It has to install from the disk onto the hard drive. And so if I want to go back and play an old game, I don't want to delete it and then have to go through that, install process again.
Which
So
I used to do with
I'll
the
give
360.
you that.
On top of which, with the backwards compatibility,
But if you didn't-
my list
Fuck,
gets
yeah.
filled really fast. So, yeah, and hard drives can be supplemented easily with externals, as Shark mentions.
Is
in the chat.
Skyrim on that backwards yet?
No, it's in the pipe.
It is.
It's in the pipe. Yeah.
When?
It's
Where?
coming.
Why?
They haven't they don't have like a set release schedule. They'll just be like, it's Wednesday morning. By the way, we added 3 more things. So it just sort of doesn't happen. Okay.
Suck me sideways.
Okay,
So-
Sky Carrick, good point.
Hard
Debates.
drive,
Hard drive versus
solid state.
Solid state.
Yeah, so I think the optimal
Depending.
solid-state hard drive solution is you have a very small solid-state drive for your operating system,
Yep.
and then you store your games or whatever on your
regular
hard drive.
Yep.
So
I'm
that I've tried that before, and it's such a pain in the ass to like going back and forth between the two drives. There's some technology that, of course, I can't remember the name of right now. It's an Intel motherboard technology whereby you use a standard disk drive in conjunction with a solid state, and then basically the motherboard figures out which files you use the most off of your standard disk drive, and then it loads that onto the solid state for you without you having to
That's kinda
screw with
cool.
it.
That way-
Now, that's a cool solution, but I
Yeah.
haven't tried it myself. What was the name of that technology? I can't remember.
Game Guy says solid states are nice, but they're a luxury at this point.
That's true. They're still expensive as hell.
They're getting cheaper.
Where do you go when you start looking? Do you go to Amazon? Do you go to Newegg? Do you go to PCPartPicker.com? Like where do you go? First, Calvin, where do you go?
Depending,
When you built your most recent one, where did you start looking at components?
Straight from the spigot.
I
His
look
ass. Sorry, Cal.
You're good.
I'm sorry. I had to.
I started looking at pricing on Newegg, and I got a list together of what I wanted. So I built my list and what we wanted to build out of that computer. And I looked at Amazon, Newegg, but I also went 2 stores because Micro Center here in Dallas.
Okay, Micro Centers. I've heard. I heard Game Guy mention Micro Center before.
Is a cheap steal on lots of different things. So you can look out online and then go to a Micro Center or Fry's. Even sometimes they have comparable prices.
Is there a website? Can someone throw up in the chat a website where one can go to make sure that their components are compatible with each other?
That I don't know. Eric?
That's a good question. I usually just do that manually myself, but I'm pretty sure PC Part Picker can do that for you.
Wait, when you say manually yourself, do you mean that you buy the components, you try to put them together, and then if they don't work or don't talk with each other, then you go,
No.
I'll take it back?
No. What I do
it
is
on
like when I have the motherboard, so I'll buy the motherboard, right? Or I'll put that in my cart. I put the motherboard in my cart, and I'm like, okay, the motherboard supports a LGA 1150 slot for the processor. So my choice set for the processors is this, and I just filter by that. And then like at the end, I'll do a final check to make sure like all the slots fit each other. But there probably is an automatic option like PC Part Picker, which I actually haven't.
Yeah, and they're throwing that up in the chat right now. It's PCPartPicker.com. So for those of you listening that are not, watching us later, listening later, if you go to PCPartPicker.com, you can choose things, and the specs will tell you what they're compatible with. Thank you, Caldane Shark, Sky, and Kyra Game Guy.
Good on you, chat room. Like fast on the response.
Yeah, you guys are quick.
That's nice.
You guys are slick. I appreciate that. Okay, so now what about power? You need to energy the thing, right?
Right.
Yep.
And it just depends on how much power you're going to need to run your device.
How many episodes does it take to power up?
So actually,
About
13 episodes. Full season. Okay.
Yeah.
I will post the link in chat when I can find it. But I found this simple application online where you input all of the parts that are going into your PC, and it tells you exactly how much wattage you need in your power supply.
That's full-scale cheating.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
And
awesome.
it requires that you pay like $5 for a lifetime membership or whatever. But
That's cheap as hell though for that.
But it's totally worth it. Of course, you add like a little buffer because over the course of time, like your power supply kind of fades in efficiency, and you need that little extra 20% or whatever. But I found
that was what I was going to
really
ask.
useful.
So, is there a benefit to having more power than you need, not just in terms of decay or half-life or whatever, but
yeah,
does throwing an enormous fucking power supply in there do anything to like speed or
No.
what you're capable of doing or anything like that?
No, I mean unless you overclocking really doesn't take a huge additional bump on the power supplies. That's not really an issue. It's just do you have the wattage necessary to support all the parts?
Gotcha.
At that point, it sounds like you would really need to start paying attention to cooling too.
It does.
All right, so here we go. Cooling. How do you cool?
You just put on sunglasses.
I was gonna go Corey Hart. Will, do you take those ice packs from like the fridge? Actually, when I was playing Star Wars: The Old Republic online, my laptop, not the laptop itself, but the brick, like the power cord, the brick and the power cord. I'm sure there's a word for that, like transformer.
I think it's a transformer.
Yeah. It would get so hot, like to the touch, it would leave a burn mark on you. And so what I did was, rather than replacing it, I went and got those, frozen like things that you put in the freezer, and I would pull it out, and then I'd wrap it, and then I'd play Star Wars: The Old Republic, and then after a few hours, I'd have to take it off and then go put it in the freezer again because it was like liquid.
Dude,
I remember.
Ridiculous.
I remember when you were living at the old Bell House.
Yeah.
And well, thank you, Sky and Kyra. You were living at the old Bell House, and it was super duper drafty. So you would run Crisis on the laptop that you gave me.
The heat went out one winter, and it was cold as tits. It was tits, ass, balls, dick cold.
I thought those are all very warm.
Those are very warm areas.
Well, what I did,
I don't know, a cold grundle was,
at night, what I would do is I would put the space heater up on a table, which they tell you not to do, and I would face it at my face while I was asleep, which is also they tell you not to do.
Kind of like a fire hazard.
But during the day, I would turn on my laptop, and I would turn on my 360, and I would turn on my plasma screen, and like I'd get a good 15 degrees out of them fucking things.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a lot. That's a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how do you cool, Eric? Do you use fans or
Oh my
nitrogen?
god!
Or
Do I
liquid
use
cooling?
fans?
Nitrogen. Holy shit.
So Will questioned the sanity of spending $1,000 on a PC in total. What do you think about spending $160 on just fans?
Just fans.
Just fans.
I'd rather fist myself.
Yeah. So I have a custom water-cooled loop in my PC right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've seen those. They're very cool looking. Don't get me wrong. They're very cool. I mean, turn your head real fast, Chuck. I went out and bought this for no reason, but it glows.
Oh, the headset, the
The
little
afterglow.
Hedgehog's headset will glow when you turn it on.
The glow.
The problem is when he turned it on, I can't hear you guys anymore.
No, I turned this down. Go ahead.
So like
Still
you can
nothing.
Yeah,
Still
we're not
nothing.
talking.
huh.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
Can you hear
Okay, now I can hear you.
Seriously?
That's weird. But also,
Doesn't
like,
work like
you
that with the
can't
Xbox.
see that when you're wearing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No point.
No point.
No point in it.
That's hilarious.
It's just something that's really cool.
It's just it glows.
So does
It's
your
so shiny.
does your liquid cool like glow? Does it like look like Tron?
No, so you do have the option of putting in colored liquid into the machine, but the long story short is that dye leaves residue within your tubes and your water blocks, which attach to your parts, and so
residue.
it's generally not a good idea. So I have
allow it
colored
to clean the
tubing
pipes,
that the
huh?
water goes through.
Yeah.
The water itself does not glow or anything, though you will see builds that have that because those people love to take apart their
Eric,
water.
does Calvin ever show up to your home in nothing but his American Speedo and go, "I'm here to clean your tubes"?
You could only wish for that.
No,
Will.
thank God.
Only wish.
That's a good Easter morning.
That's a good Sunday stroll for most people.
He has risen again.
How'd you cool yours, Cal? Fans?
I've got fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to buy extras or anything?
I got
like
a couple extra, specifically for the CPU.
Calvin
but-
just spits on his computer.
that? And Game Guy mentions it depends on how cold you keep your house,
Yeah.
which
that too.
may or may not be a half joke, but that actually does have some effect on it. Like I even noticed
does.
my Xbox One even when winter ended, it started shutting down like during the day when I was playing it. So I had to move some stuff around to get more.
Your Xbox One.
You had to ventilate it.
Yeah,
You have to get vented.
I have to make sure that
Yeah.
it not only it, but again the little transformer or whatever the brick has
brick.
to be clear of things and
Debris-
be able to
of
breathe
debris.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, Sky and Kyra, since you know about this, Sky and Kyra, Eric, liquid cooling. Is it
Yes.
like radiator fluid where you have to change it out? You have to refill it every once in a while? Like, it just
Yeah.
evaporate?
That's a good question.
Like,
So
how does that work?
So it does evaporate a little bit, and you have to add in it's just distilled water that goes into the system.
Okay.
So you have to top it up maybe once every like 5 or 6 months or so. It's not that frequent. Now, if you go to the forums of people who liquid cool regularly, they will recommend that you drain your whole system, take apart the entire loop, clean everything, and then put it all back together about once every year or two. I have not done that, and my machine's working just fine. So-
What's the risk of water basically corrupting internal mechanisms and such?
Okay, the number one thing you have to be careful about is mixing metals. So if you have a connector on your tube that is brass, and then part of your, let's say, radiator is nickel, for example, there can be like a chemical reaction between those metals because the water is like slightly electrically charged as it goes through your
Right.
system. So you have to be really careful about that. My machine is full copper, so that's not a problem. But in terms of like the water just wearing down the parts, like I don't think that's really an issue. The
It's not
parts
gonna
are built
spring a leak
fast.
and start a fire.
It could
Yeah,
spring a
no.
leak and start a fire.
No,
It could.
it's. I mean,
If it's built shitty, I would imagine that it's going to spring a leak. Sky Kyra actually mentioned something about that earlier in the chat. So
Yeah.
Chuck, I could shit my pants.
yeah. So
I'm
if you
not going
if you
to.
do it,
you have better
There's
control
There's the
over
could
yourself.
and
Yeah.
there's the would.
Yeah, things can happen.
if you
Things
do it
can happen.
Don't
correctly,
live in fear.
yeah,
You can
if you
just
do
shit
it
yourself
correctly,
and
the
just
risk of that
show-
is really
show
really
the
low.
difference.
Like negligibly low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got it cooled, you've got it powered, you've got your
I do.
motherboard, and you have your CPU, and you have your
We didn't talk
GPU. What right now? Let's go into what specific GPUs and CPUs do you recommend in terms of brand? Are you? Let's start with GPU.
Okay.
You wanted to get a dedicated graphics processor, right?
Sure. Yeah.
something that's not integrated into the motherboard or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you NVIDIA? Are you ATI or AMD or what strokes your GPU rods?
Okay, so
I'm
I have a
NVIDIA.
bit of a story about this to describe my bias for NVIDIA. So,
Okay.
back in the day, I was an AMD person because the dollar to performance ratio is better for AMD.
Gotcha.
Something you pay attention to quite clearly.
Right. But I had a terrible driver experience with like an ATI 9800, which was like a decade ago. And the experience with this card was so bad that I like vowed I would never buy an ATI card again. But I have my understanding is that recently ATI has really caught up in the driver department, and I think that if you want like the extra 5% power push, then NVIDIA is probably going to get you there. But for the budget-conscious gamer, I think ATI is probably fine.
Okay.
So it just depends on how much money you
Preference,
want to
huh?
burn and yeah, your preference.
What card do you have, Calvin, right now?
I have the GTX 660
Okay.
NVIDIA.
And Eric, what do you have in your PC right now?
What you running?
I have a it's really old. It's a GTX 570. It's an NVIDIA card.
How do you?
It's
Have,
the 570.
How is yours if you built it in 2014?
Well,
Less powerful than my card.
My card was a carryover from my prior box that I built in 2010.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So now CPU, are you guys Intel or what's the other? Who the fuck else makes CPU?
AMD.
I guess AMD makes CPUs as well.
Yeah, I'm Intel.
So what I have on our streaming PC, and we'll talk because I have a PC that is dedicated to streaming, by which I mean it does not do any gaming. It only runs the stream. It runs the OBS and the show basically. And it's an Intel Core i5 6400 at 2.7 gigahertz, and the Intels I've heard lately have been outpacing AMD by a fair bit. Is that wrong?
No, it's also accurate, but it's the exact same story with Intel and AMD as it is with NVIDIA and ATI cards. If you want the extra 5% power boost, like you're going to get that from Intel. And if you just go to like CPUbenchmarks.net, you'll see that the top of the list is totally populated almost entirely with Intel processors. But again,
welcome into the chat, Girly Gaming H2O. Thanks for joining us. And let me throw out there, guys, if you haven't yet,
Sure.
feel free to follow us. Click the little button. You should get to see a dancing Chuck as our little alert.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I actually want to mention something that Caldane0 mentioned in chat was that he says that ATI doesn't work with developers on making their drivers, which is something I'm not aware of, but maybe they still have some driver issues that I am not familiar with.
Right. Yeah. So okay, so guys, we were talking about building a gaming PC, and we're going through it sort of step by step. Welcome Florida, welcome
Florida.
Bubba, ooh, welcome Deadman, and Deadman sees Jesus. I'm guessing that's Chuck.
It's Chuck.
Me.
Big man Jesus.
Hey,
Girly Gaming Show. Thanks for the follow. It's awesome. I also have a little notification
Yeah, I heard
on my
it.
phone. Did you hear it?
Yeah, it's good.
Clicking. Yeah. Fringe Loop. We love you, man. Okay, so tower wise, mid tower, big tower. What are you doing now?
You get a tower that fits all the parts.
It
that
just
you're
fits
putting
all
on
the
your
shit.
motherboard.
Is that it?
Yeah.
How are
Like,
you?
There are people that custom build their towers so that they can fit
Like
all
kind of
the shit
carbon
that they
fiber
can.
bullshit.
Well, not just
there's
carbon
some-
fiber, but like, you have to like build a box that you can hold everything
Right.
in.
So
yeah.
what, Eric, when you're grabbing a tower, like, do you give a shit about the aesthetic of it, or is it just thank you, Deadman, for following? We
Deadman.
appreciate it. Or do you just give a shit about like that it holds all your crap?
Actually, so my most recent case, which is a Corsair Obsidian 750D, has a new feature on it on cases that I haven't worked with before, which is dust filters over the fan slots.
Dude, that actually sounds awesome.
Very useful because
It is amazing. I will never go back. So
That sounds rad.
the two criteria for me are now: does it hold all my crap?
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I have a third criteria. So, does it hold all my crap? Is it easy to work with? and does it have dust filters?
Okay,
So I
gotcha.
have worked with cases where the design is such that like screwing and unscrewing, particularly around the hard drive area, like the hard drive bays are really awkward, and like there's not enough space to get the screwdriver in and stuff. So usually what I'll do is I'll go to like Linus Tech Tips or one of these YouTube channels that reviews cases, and just like watch someone go through, like walk me through the case. And if it looks like it's easy to like handle and put together, then that's kind of a
Then
factor for
you'll
me
go
too.
for that. Okay, Bubba9, thanks for the follow. We appreciate it. I didn't want to interrupt Eric. Florida, thanks for the follow
Sure.
as well. You
Florida.
guys are fantastic. Digital Galt says iBuyPower has a really good tool for designing a PC, and he
Yeah.
put a link in the chat there.
My power is really cool too.
Let me address some of the things that you guys are saying. I read something about Chicken Computer. Florida wants to know if you would you sacrifice your chickens, Will, for the ultimate gaming PC?
They aren't chickens, they're chocobos.
They are chocobos.
Right.
Chickabos.
No, because
You'd rather have 2 chickens
I'd
than an
rather
ultimate
have
gaming PC?
I'd rather have 2 chickens because
You can eat.
fuck PC.
Oh,
We had
Wow.
when we began the third wave of the Angry Cuddles podcast, guys, just to fill you in, we had a console wars episode that basically ended up being console versus PC,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
we really tore the shit out of it. So it's funny that we're doing that on this. But let's see, what else?
Oz.
That's
Oh, do you like Michael
that
Jackson?
look at the name.
That
I do.
is- that,
Did you see the
You have,
name?
you have a terrible name. I'm not going to repeat it.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
it's,
I just think
I'm
it's
a big
funny
Tosh
watching-
fan.
Yeah,
so
you're
like,
a Daniel Tosh fan?
yeah,
I'm
so
a
like
big
that
Daniel
kind of
Tosh
shit
fan, too.
just cracks
you
me
up.
up. Yeah.
yeah.
It's aggressive.
It's aggressive.
It is aggressive.
Aggressive, yes.
It's
I love
aggressive.
it.
But
I
I-
love aggression.
I can't stand it. Girly Gaming asks, do you like Michael Jackson? What are you guys' opinions on Michael Jackson?
Oh, Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
You know what? I
Do you-
used
do
to be
you-
a big
King
fan.
of Pop, do you
King of-
believe, do you
King of Pop.
subscribe to that theory?
Listen, no, he did it, but
Yeah.
I still think
He did it. He's
the
the
dude,
king of pop.
the dude can sing some jams.
I think he's a phenomenal dancer.
Back in choir when I was a little boy. How ironic! I sang "The Way You Make Me Feel" as a solo.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Back when I could hit those notes.
not
You're
anymore.
smoking and drinking.
It was
gonna
as
ruin
if
my voice.
old Michael was squeezing my balls himself.
Then
my
puberty
little-
hit and I was
My,
fucked.
my
Yeah,
little
yeah,
boy
nothing to do
balls.
with it
Yeah.
anymore. That's fantastic. Bubba, we will not be playing I Spy tonight, but that is a great idea for a future podcast. I love that idea. I also came up with the idea of a karaoke podcast where we do little singing challenges, and then the viewers can tell us who won.
I will,
Yes,
I will lose
please.
every one of those.
We're going to get Calvin in on those for sure.
I will lose every one.
Here's one for everyone in the chat. I spy with my little eye something with 6 strings.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So tough.
Okay, so we've got the tower now. We've
Yep.
got your GPU. So when you're
Yep.
gaming, you want to focus. Do you want the best GPU or the best CPU, or do you really got to balance those two things?
Glavier wins.
I'd say that
Hello.
in general, people spend too much on CPUs and not enough on GPUs.
Okay.
I'd say the GPU is more important in general. Of course, assuming you're gaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about now? Just to finish up before we switch over to streaming PCs, for a gaming PC, first of all, you want to have both, right? It's really tough to have one PC do both of those things, right? Like have to be gaming and streaming from the same unit.
You can do that pretty simply. You can either
No, I mean, I know that the function of it can be done, but I mean, it's really taxing, isn't it?
well, if you just get more memory, it's fine.
Yeah,
What
I
about the
haven't-
memory? Is there a specific type of memory that you prefer for gaming, or that needs to be done for gaming, or does it depend on the motherboard?
Just lots of RAM.
Yeah, just I
Ram on
think
ram on ram.
Like I run with 8
Just
gigs.
lots. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's lots of it.
Yeah.
Eric, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have sufficient capacity. I think they just released DDR4, so
Okay.
if you build a PC with DDR4, I think you're probably
I love
fine.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Steven, you know
Yes.
how I know
Yeah.
that Xbox is better than PC?
Why do you know that?
Because
How do you know?
we've spent 40 minutes talking about everything you need in a PC
just to get it to
play a
turn,
goddamn
to,
game.
Well, get it to fucking
Get it
turn
to
on.
turn on.
Yeah,
And
to
see,
power up.
maybe about 10 minutes
You
ago, Sky
realize
and
that.
Kyra asked a really important question. What is the new benchmark PC game? What is the, like,
That's
does it
true.
play Crysis? Do you everybody remember that question
Right,
from like 2
yeah.
hours ago?
Yeah.
I think
probably
it's Fallout.
Yeah.
I would say now.
I've seen.
Or
Yeah.
Witcher.
I would actually say now it's Skyrim with shitloads of mods.
If you will play all the mods.
Right.
I think
Bubba
that,
Ooh 9. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, sorry. So I think that graphics-wise, Fallout 4 is super intensive, but on the benchmarks that I've looked at, Tomb Raider is actually a pretty common choice.
damn.
Okay, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Battlefield
I didn't know
4.
that. That's cool.
Yeah. And Battlefield 4.
That game is
Okay.
beautiful.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 is very taxing. Yeah.
Bubba 9 had asked, "What's a good site to see horse dick?" I actually know it's moonlightnative.com.
This man right
See
here.
5 perfectly
man right
sculpted
here.
horse dicks. Yeah,
Beautiful
they're
horse dicks.
amazing. They're well lit.
Yeah.
There's actually a shot of them where it's like lasers and smoke. I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
from South by Southwest.
That was from South by Southwest.
And it
yeah.
looks like fucking Michael Bay directed that photo shoot. Like it looks like a
That's
shot
awesome.
from Ninja Turtles 2. And so what I wanted them to do is cover Go Ninja Go.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite songs.
Ooh, the Ninja
I think
Rap.
It's
a
actually the
folksy-
only
a Fort Worth folksy Go Ninja Go would be.
It's the only song I put on when I'm jerking off. It's Go Ninja Go.
I don't know how to respond to that.
That's got a
at
good
all.
cadence
Not
to
gonna
it.
do, yeah.
I like
Go
it.
Ninja, Go Ninja,
I like
go,
it.
That
go
is-
Ninja.
So for gaming, so if you guys are going to stream now, so we've done the gaming PC thing.
Sure.
Well, actually, let me ask you, Eric, how much do you spend on peripherals? Do you gaming mouse, gaming keyboard, all of that shit, or do you just like? Is there an actual reason why you'd need to spend a lot of money on those things
I would
aside from the neon lights?
I would get a gaming keyboard
And-
because gaming keyboards do a whole bunch of shit. But a regular, like a mouse, like, okay, a mouse.
I disagree. I'm on the other edge of that completely.
It's because
I-
you play LOL and
No.
FPSs and shit.
No, okay.
So
a
you need a
keyboard-
mouse where you've got like fine point access and everything. I don't quite need that.
Oh, you don't need that when you're running NES simulators.
Bingo.
Right. Go ahead. So Calvin.
I think the sensitivity and what you can do with a nice mouse is actually just it is kind of a luxury, but it's also the natural state of what that mouse can do. You can always expand upon it or make it just a standard mouse, but you have the option in the future if you do get involved with a game that you desire. Fast, extreme fast, or you get used to it and you want to upgrade yourself, you can just go in the program and just boop.
So what about you, Eric? Do you peripheral much?
Not terribly. I've had the same mouse forever. For keyboards,
Good man.
I mean, I guess I spend a little bit on a decent keyboard, but like these $200 Razer
Yeah,
Black
no.
Widow mechanical, like, no, that's not necessary. As long as the
Like
keys
it like emits
feel
a
nice.
noise when you hit WASD, like boom, boom, boom. You know?
Yeah,
Steve, I don't know if
exactly.
you
That's
saw
nonsense.
that article in Forbes recently.
I read Forbes a lot.
Yeah, I know you're an avid Forbes
Yeah.
reader, and it was about people who have really nice mouses. Mices?
yeah.
Mises? You know?
Mises.
Moose.
Moose? People who have nice moose are closet serial killers.
I believe it.
What?
I believe that is
Yeah.
the
Great.
case.
That was in Forbes.
I think if you spend more than $80 on a mouse, you're like
That you are an American
Bundy-esque.
psycho.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm in the clear then. I'm right under.
Do you? Let me ask you guys. Mouse like hand mouse or a trackball like thumb trackball? What do you do?
Hand mouse.
Hand.
hand?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are all fucking weird, man. It's
have a-
trackball all the
Okay,
way.
Mr.
you,
Toe
Steven.
Shoes.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I use a trackball and I
you're-
wear the Vibram 5-finger toe shoes. Go fuck yourselves, guys.
Wow.
Go, no, fuck you. You get more pussy.
Wow.
Do you, the toe shoe.
You wear toe shoes.
I have a, I still have
look,
a,
look, my toes
I like how
can't
it went
fit in
into
those,
that.
okay?
Like, I use a trackball and I wear
And
toe
toe
shoes.
shoes.
I'm a douchebag.
like my feet don't fit in those, so it doesn't work. My-
Trackball kills hands.
my-
Sally Alvia says
I have two
trackball kills
long
my hands.
toes.
Really?
Don't
Yes,
talk about your
really.
toes.
I feel like it doesn't switch my.
Don't wiggle your
Oh,
toes at me, Cal.
Um,
Cal's doing weird things.
Girly Gaming H2O. No, and neither should you.
Wait.
This-
We do need to keep America great again, though.
We do.
We
do
need
need
to
to
keep it
You
great.
need to keep
Post
it
that.
great. I'm trying actually. So when I go to the visual, guys, hang in there because I had to switch something on OBS. So just give me a second. I'm going to get this set up correctly. There we are. For some reason, it's not recognizing our second monitor, so when I pulled it up, that's what it did. But here's our, this is from Caldane. Here's our Make America Great Again.
It's fantastic.
And also here is the, I'm glad this is here now. So this is CPUbenchmark.net. And if you're looking, so this is what I just recently, I didn't build, I bought because I didn't want to fuck with it.
A little lazy.
It's all right.
If you go to CPUbenchmark.net and you go to this pass mark, CPU mark, there's a number. It's fairly, I mean, it's all relative. But these are the benchmark numbers for CPUs. and like
Four-digit CPUs?
every, this is all the different
Yes.
CPUs, and you can compare them and shit.
Holy shit.
When I went shopping for a streaming PC, now my PC, like I said, it doesn't run games. It just streams. It runs the Elgato capture card. So if you guys are wanting to stream, like with consoles or even with a second PC, my recommendation, and you guys can fight me or tell me this is bad if you want, because I'd be hesitant to have my PC gaming and streaming at the same time.
Well,
I know it's doable.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, and
Like
again,
all the time.
okay. Well, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe you can do that, and you guys can talk in the chat amongst yourselves about that. But if you're getting a dedicated streaming PC,
These price points are scary as fuck.
when you're looking, so
It's dedication, Chuck.
I mean, no, the Xeon processors are all for like Google grade servers. This is nothing that
Yeah.
consumers would
Yeah,
actually buy.
something we
So don't
need.
even write those off.
So right here is my processor, the Intel Core i5 6400 at 2.7 with the benchmark of 6506. Now, I did my own research. I was reading about shit. They recommend if you have a dedicated streaming PC, because streaming takes up a lot of CPU before it takes up a lot of GPU, and then the gaming takes up a lot of GPU before the CPU. That's from what I can tell, and I don't know a lot about this shit, so you guys, if I'm fucking up shit, tell me. But I believe that's the priority. So that's if you're going to build or get a streaming dedicated PC, pretty much the only thing that I suggest you do is go to CPUbenchmark.net and look up the CPU that you're about to get and make sure that it benchmarks over 6500, because then you'll be able to, run YouTube and stream. And the laptop that we used to stream on before I got the dedicated one that we ran the podcast from, I could run OBS and stream our webcam, but if I tried to do literally anything else at the same time, it would just straight up freeze.
See, this is why you stress me out a little bit.
I stress you out?
Yes. Like I'm talking about, because you're saying a dedicated streaming PC. Well, to me, a dedicated streaming PC is also a gaming PC. You just invest a
That's
little
not
bit.
dedicated.
It's doing dedication to both of them.
Yeah, can't you do both?
I can Skype with Eric with video and stream and have everything on and have a video chat of him on there, and it'll work just fine. Like I said, if you just invest the more money, I think it's better just to have that all-out, well-rounded computer instead of dedicated to one thing, dedicated to another. Just do it for fucking both. I don't know. That's my personal humble opinion.
Do it for fucking
I never
both,
thought
he
I'd say
says.
this,
Yeah.
but I agree with Cal.
I know it's very difficult.
Yeah, if someone wants to check out their Fringe Loops PC part picker list and give an opinion, go for it. Calvin, know what dedicated means. That's the hashtag. That's what
Thanks,
saying.
Caldane. I thought you were supposed to be stick together with me.
Girly Gaming,
What
I
is
hope
this?
that you don't get deported. I think that's what you're referring to. But I guess depending on where home is.
Yeah, well,
You are home, Girly Gaming.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Welcome
Angry
to Angry
Cuddles.
That's right.
That's how it goes.
Oh, if Trump
unless
becomes
this is
president, maybe
not
you
her
want to be
home,
deported.
then-
No, Angry Cuddles is
What if
her,
she's like, Trump
is her new home.
wants to send me home, and she didn't finish, and she's like, and I really want to go.
And I really want to go. Oh well, yeah. Okay, so I guess that's how. If you guys want to continue to help each other out, you can continue to chat. If you're wanting to build a PC, feel
Help
free
each
to
other
shoot.
out, yo.
Feel free to shoot us a question, and I will forward it to Game Guy on
Thank you,
Twitter,
Caldane.
who can teach you all sorts of great shit.
I would like to
The
mention-
last thing that we do before we go is we go to the can. This is our Angry Cuddles fan can. If you guys want, you can ask us anything. Go to Twitter and just ask us a question with the hashtag FanCan, and we'll put it in. We'll draw out of the can and it's usually some crazy ass question that someone's.
So what turd have
asked.
we fished from the can this week?
What are we reading this week?
Oh, actually, this works really well because of Girly Gaming's question. Cat F on Facebook asks, if you had to choose one member of the crew to sacrifice to Donald Trump's life force, who would it be and why?
Calvin.
Oh, Calvin.
I'm giving
Okay,
it to
Calvin
Chuck.
easily.
Chuck's got a shitload of life force.
Yeah,
Then I think I'm gonna go Chuck
I'm
on
going
that
Chuck
too.
with that. He's
There's
got a lot more.
so much there.
Are you sure you want him to have that much?
Eric, what about you? Who of the Angry Cuddles crew do you sacrifice to Trump's life force?
I
almost
mean,
gonna say Chuck
easily
too.
Calvin. I mean,
I
the
knew
go-
that was coming.
the goal is to
Wait,
sabotage.
I want to hear Eric's answer.
The goal is to sabotage Donald Trump in any possible way, shape, or form, right? So sending him some really pathetic, like low-down life force, I think, would be the optimal.
This one right here.
That was cold.
That was straight up killer.
That just murdered me.
That was
Am I
killer.
the only one that wants to see Donald Trump's hair turn Super Saiyan?
That's when you feed him my life.
See, that's why I want to give him Chuck.
I think he would just pop. Like I believe that Chuck.
If you fed him my life force, he would turn into the thing from Akira.
Or like Slither, Michael Rooker and Slither, where it's just like this enormous, like Chuck's frame is the only frame that can hold his soul. And if you installed the Chuck software into any other unit, it would not be able to handle it. Why is gray hair guy face so red?
Gray hair.
It happens. I don't know. It's just a thing that I do. Maybe it's rosacea.
Is it rosacea?
I actually asked my doctor if I had rosacea.
What did he
and
say?
he said no.
He said no?
You're
No,
just as
that's not-
blushy as fuck.
It's just a
that's all.
blushy thing
Also, it's
that
a
I
little
do.
warm in here.
Yeah.
He gets real bashful.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an introvert in an extrovert's body.
Yeah.
So this is what happens.
He's going Super Saiyan
Steven,
Blue
I
right
was
now.
gonna-
Yeah, Shark nails it because I love you guys.
I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3,
Oh, fuck yeah.
how are you liking it?
I haven't started it yet.
Hello, Jonathan
you got it.
Florida.
No, I didn't buy it yet.
You haven't bought it?
No, here's what I do with
Just
Dark
came out,
Souls. I wanted to play Lords of the Fallen first.
Yeah.
Because it's a Souls style game.
Yeah.
But also, Mike, who used to be on the Angry Cuddles podcast, one of my old roommates,
Yeah.
he's a huge Souls fan and really got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I let him play it first, and then when he's done, I play it so that I can be like, hey, so I don't go to the internet because I feel like that's cheating.
Right.
But if I'm asking a person for help, that's not cheating.
I see.
That's fair.
Interesting.
Actually, the Dark I
It's like
played.
your own help guide.
I bought Demon Souls when it came out.
It talks.
I bought, and so Eric. Well, I remember Eric at one point. You said, "What's a really?" Hey, Jonathan, Florida. We got 2 Floridas today. Fantastic. Thanks for joining the podcast. Don't forget to follow us. Eric, I remember at one point you asked on Facebook, I'm craving some difficulty. What's a really hard fucking game?
Right.
At
Demon
the time,
Souls.
it was before the first Dark Souls came out.
Right.
The first Souls games was called Demon Souls on PS3.
Right.
And I recommended it to you.
Yep.
And you proceeded to ruin the entire experience for yourself by looking up online what the best build was. And
He does that with every game.
No.
He
no.
wants to do that with
Let me-
everything.
Eric wants the maximum potential.
He
and
is
the
the
maximum,
min-max.
Yeah, I
way
do
he
min-max
can
a
win.
lot. It's true.
Like,
But,
he wants
like,
to
I
win,
feel
and
like-
win well.
I feel like in Dark Souls, if you don't
explain
look
yourself,
up,
Eric.
yeah, if you don't look up like that, okay, just thinking of the Dark Souls 2. So the great what's that giant green sword? It's like the Moonlight Sword or something.
Yeah.
It requires like 35 strength and 35 intelligence. And so if you don't,
Which is ridiculous because no character build, unless you know that beforehand, is going to have both of those things.
exactly, but then you look it up and you're like, oh, that's cool. I want to build a character around that item. You can go
Okay.
for it.
But
Right.
you didn't just look up like the strategy guide or whatever just to go all the way through it, right?
No. I just look up what are
He just
all of
read
the
the last
existing
page
items
in
in
the
the
story.
game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He read the
Yeah.
last page in the story and then wrote the story to fit the last page.
Bubba, we do need a makeup person. If you want to be our makeup person, you're totally welcome to. Because Sydney did my makeup at the end of the year show,
Yeah.
and it was phenomenal.
And to
Yeah,
Jonathan,
amazing.
Florida, I got this hat at PAX South at the NVIDIA party.
yeah,
Well,
we're
we
actually
went
giving
to-
away one of those NVIDIA hats at our 5th anniversary party
There we go, see?
in May. So if you guys are in the DFW area, come to our 5th anniversary party and get a whole bunch of shit.
Get a bitchin' NVIDIA hat.
Yeah. The Dark
David
Souls.
Swimmer.
Who's your favorite swimmer? And Caldane said David Swimmer.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
That was good.
You win joke of the day, Caldane. Congratulations.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a good one.
Cal's keeping it real. Get it going.
And Gally Alvia says, I totally love
was
strategy
good.
books. Someone please hold my hand. Well, I need someone to hold my hand. Dark Souls, that series is actually the only series that when I'm starting the game, like when I'm starting off, I'm nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
Like
I-
during the
Yeah.
install, I'm like sweating.
Right.
I can't do it. It's just like so tedious.
I plan on
It's a
trying Dark
tedious
Souls
game.
3
You do?
after I go and download Arc right after this.
Arc. Fucking
Okay.
Arc.
You know what I'm gonna do then? I'm gonna do this.
What are you gonna do?
Sometime during my stream this year, I'm going to be playing Earthbound. And then as soon as I'm done with Earthbound, I will either go back to Lords of the Fallen, or I will actually straight up play Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls that went free for gold.
Yeah.
If it's backwards
If
compatible,
I
which
suggest,
it should be.
I suggest using Mike because when I started, in Dark Souls 2, for example, when you begin, you sort of get to this the hub area of Dark Souls 2, this little town, and it's sort of where everything branches from, kinda. And there's a woman there that you talk to, and that's how you level up. And so you have to go talk to this woman. And I spent like 2 hours trying to find this fucking lady, and someone streaming with me actually was like, they're right behind you. And I was like, oh shit, like they're just standing by a tree. But the game never doesn't point you, it doesn't waypoint. You are meant to explore, you are meant to find out this shit on your own, but it's super hard.
Right.
Gives us that challenge.
Yeah. Did you play any of the other yeah, Jonathan Florida, just go grab a Sunny D from Will's fridge.
You'll have to turn the light on first.
Girly Gaming, actually, I've sung I Will Always Love You in one of our YouTube videos when we were playing The Division.
And
Go check
also,
that out over there, too.
that hurt my ears.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
Ow.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad, guys.
That's pretty good.
If you guys haven't yet, feel free to follow us. Click the little follow heart button at the bottom. Eric, Slanverse, thank you for joining us today, man.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
Anytime, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Um,
you, Dead
Thank you,
Weiler.
Eric. I
If
really
you-
enjoyed
miss your
it.
body.
If you guys want to help us out with our 5th anniversary party, it is on May 7th, and you can go to GoFundMe.com/AngryCuddles and donate. We have reached our Xbox One giveaway goal, so we're giving away a white Quantum Break Xbox One bundle at the party, and we are doing awesome stuff there as well. You can go to our Facebook event and see it. Our social media is up at the top above Calvin's big glorious head.
Releases big glorious hat.
Is Instagram, Twitter,
Yes.
YouTube, and Facebook is where you can interact with us, especially on Twitter. We Twitter a lot, a real lot.
We're getting karaoke requests now.
If you guys want to check out Chuck,
Hi.
you
Byronic
can
Commando.
go to Byronic Commando.
On Twitter, on Twitch, and Mad Controller Flailing on Facebook.
And if you guys want to check out Will,
Go to moonlightnative.com. Check out some tunes. That's moonlightnative.com.
spelled the way it's supposed to be.
Find me on Xbox One. That's busting
Busting a cat.
Yo, join him
I
on
still
his
can't believe you
Minecraft.
have that fucking
I know.
name. That's crazy.
Join him on his
Pretty rad,
Minecraft, yo,
actually.
because
I wish you
they
would
are-
stream your Minecraft sessions.
They are doing.
I'm
Yo,
going-
you
you
and
know-
me, man.
No, we are.
You and fucking
Okay,
me.
I need you to do that.
Yeah.
And where can we find you, Calvin?
You can find me at Corporate Cal on Twitch.
Yep.
And then on Twitter, it's Corporate Hobbs.
Corporate Hobbs. They go together. It's Calvin and Hobbs.
Calvin
right?
Hobbs, man.
Get it?
You gotta
Get
have that dynamic duo. Wow.
You guys, thank you for following. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will be back on Sunday. Our podcast is going to be on Sunday next week instead of Monday. We're going to do a little early so that Will can join us as well. We're going to be ripping apart Batman versus Superman.
Hell yeah.
Quick spoiler alert. A couple of us actually really loved it.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go see Batman vs Superman, Eric?
I did not. I haven't even seen The Force Awakens. I'm a total loser.
What the
Whoa.
I know. I know.
Wow.
It's
Eric, that's
horrible.
that
It's
one's
bad. It's bad. I know.
that one's actually really sad.
Get out of here, Dead
Wow.
So
Weiler.
my current
You are
girlfriend
the
has
supervillain of the
not
podcast
seen
right
the Star Wars trilogy, and so I'm waiting until after we finished all three to go see it. We've currently watched Empire Strikes Back together, so to be coming soon.
Wow.
Guerrilla Gaming, we're actually going to do like a little karaoke thing sometime over the summer. We'll do it sooner rather than later because these guys got real excited when I mentioned it. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll be back on, I think, Wednesday. We're going to do a Division stream. We will not be doing a couch co-op on Friday because I'm going to be at a casino getting hammered.
Where are you
I'm
going?
going WinStar.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Jelly.
Eric, when was the last time you played poker, man?
Actually, so I am now the president of the poker club at Wharton, and I
You would be.
Good.
Of course.
Good, because when you took your hiatus from poker, that was like the most upsetting thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty depressed about it. So my goal is to gamble and not work all next semester. That's the goal. And actually, we're doing a pretty cool thing. We're gonna bring in like a professional, like Phil Galfond or something, to do like a seminar on strategy.
Oh, that's
next.
fucking cool.
Phil
Yeah.
Helmuth.
No,
Phil
don't
Helmuth.
bring in
Bring
Helmuth.
Phil Helmuth.
Bring in
Bring
Galfond.
Phil Helmuth. Come on.
No.
Please.
And,
I want you to tape that shit.
and if you guys haven't yet, go. Caldane has a fantastic podcast called Red Six to
Yes.
Golden Corral. He put his link in there. You need to go listen to it.
Hey,
Those guys
hey,
are fucking hilarious.
You're gonna be a Winstar over the weekend. Caldane, crash that
we're not
fucking
gonna be.
party.
We're not gonna be too far from you, Caldane.
Crash
Yeah,
that
dude.
fucking party.
Oh, by the way, go check out Digital. Why don't you link to your Twitch stream on there too,
Digital Galt.
Digital Galt.
Digital gold.
Yeah, if you're still around, put your beautiful link up there.
Yeah.
Slice. Eric, real quick before we sign off, Eric, I wanted to let you know I had someone who offered to pay me, or not pay me, but like they. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked by our chat there. I had someone that offered to loan me $10,000 to become a professional poker player.
What?
Because I told him that I would need a $10,000 bankroll to play 1-2, like as a profession, as a behind.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I'll loan you $10,000."
Five stacks of Five
Here's
Society.
the thing, though, is that I don't want to owe the money that in case I lose it. Because if I lose it, now I'm down double, essentially, right?
Well, no. That's not the way these staking agreements
That
work.
people don't will.
So basically, there's some pretty defined rules for the way that market works. But essentially, if you lose the money, he's just out the money. But if you double that to like 20,000, let's say, over the course of a month,
Right.
then you owe him like, the 10,000 obviously that he lent you plus
A couple of
for
thousand for interest.
like 4,000 of the 10,000 profit that you had, for example.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna sign off. My name is Steven.
My
Yeah.
name is Chuck.
I don't know what's going
That's
on.
Will.
That's Will. Calvin.
And Eric, thanks for stopping by,
Thanks,
man.
Eric.
No problem. Anytime, guys.
And play piano in the chateau.